5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for
David Wright.
David Wright.
David.
The Afternoon Show
With David Wright.
A very good afternoon and welcome to The Right Way with me, David Wright, here on Almeria Gold 95.5 FM. And I'm going to be with you for the next 2 hours here, talking about living and working in Spain. Got loads of great tips and advice coming up for you on the show today. And I've got a guest on the show as well today, giving you some tax tips. And I'm going to be talking about the new tourist, well, not new, but the tourist tax here in Spain. It's going up. Yeah, the price is going up on that one. More on that coming up on the show, and some great music as well. Kicking us off with a little bit of So the comment section has opened now, so come and say hi in the comment section. Come and keep me company here on Almeria Gold 95.5 FM for the next 2 hours. Loads of tips and advice on living and working in Spain. And hi to Yanni and Robbie in the comment section. And hi Margaret, thanks for joining us. Lovely to see you yesterday. Yeah, Agua Dulce yesterday, was in Agua Dulce yesterday. Absolutely beautiful day, as it is today. The weather's really nice here in Almeria, Spain. Lovely. So yeah, met up with some of my members on the beach yesterday in Agua Dulce. Beautiful place, I love it down there. Got some great tapas. If you've never been to Agua Dulce, it's along the coast from Almeria, just past the airport there on the beach, and there's a beautiful beach there and some amazing tapas bars along there. And I'm sure if you ask Margaret, she'll tell you she's been there for about almost a year now, I think, Margaret, and loving it here in Spain. Yeah, it was beautiful. There was some tourists on the beach yesterday actually swimming in the sea. Bit cold for me still, but there you go. So the summer's here now. Got rid of that rain, although they're saying that we still haven't had enough rain to stop this drought that they're having problems with down in Malaga. I think there's some water shortages down there still. But yeah, no more rain up this part of Almeria for some time, I reckon. Probably won't get any more rain now till about September, October. So that's a good thing in a way. But yeah, the sun is out and it's really warm. It's lovely out there. Makes you feel like summer. And talking about summer,
well, this car is automatic.
Grease Lightning soundtrack there, summer song there for you. Yeah, summer's back here in Almeria, thank God, for after all that rain we've had, and pretty bleak for the last couple of weeks down here in Almeria, but the weather's back, and yeah, the forecast is good for the weekend. 28 or possibly 30 degrees here in Almeria Saturday and Sunday, so that's great, isn't it?
live.
David Wright.
David Wright.
David.
The Afternoon Show.
The comment section is open. Chat live to the DJ right now via our website.
And here he is, the legendary David Wright.
So yeah, there's been a tourist tax here in Spain since around 2012, I think it was, a tourist tax. So you might have to pay a little bit extra to stay in some of the hotels, accommodation across Spain, especially in the bigger hotels and the tourist areas. And Barcelona are starting to increase this tourist tax. More on that coming up a little bit later on in the show. Time for a Spanish one now.
Almeria Gold 95.5.
David Wright.
Help and advice for living and working in Spain.
You're listening to The Right Way.
The Right Way with David Wright.
So the comment section is open, so come and say hi. And good afternoon, Sylvia from Leeds joining us. Wet and windy, miserable weather in Leeds. What a shame, Sylvia. You know you're living in the wrong country, don't you? You're desperate to get out here, I know. How many days is it now, Sylvia? I bet you're counting down the days. Yeah, the weather's fantastic here. Shorts and T-shirt weather. Out on the motorbike yesterday to go and see some friends down in Agua Dulce, the port there. Absolutely beautiful. The air's still a little bit cool on the motorbike, but there you go. That's on the motorbike. But yeah, there's people actually swimming in the sea here yesterday, and I think there must have been tourists. It's still a little bit cold for me. Don't normally go in the sea here until about at least July, really, but there you go, getting used to the weather, I think. But no, lovely weather at the moment, very warm and sunny here, no wind, thank God that wind's gone. Beautiful summer's day here in Almeria. Tina Turner there and GoldenEye. I love Tina Turner music. Okay, so yeah, tourist tax. There's the tourist tax. It's basically you pay so much a night, ranging from around €2 up to around €3, €3.50. And this is a tourist tax they put on if you're staying in any accommodation in the major cities here in Spain. Well, Barcelona have just announced that this year, a little bit later on this year, they're going to be putting up their tourist tax. Now, at the moment, it's around €38 a week per person. If you're staying, imagine you're staying in an accommodation here, a decent hotel, then you would have to pay around 38 odd euros a week per person in a tourist tax. Now, not all places do this, but quite a lot of them, most of the main chains of hotels do this, and the bigger resorts. Now, Barcelona starting putting it up by 50 cents per night. That means it's going to be around €48 a week this year. So this summer, €48 a week per person, a tourist tax. You need to budget for that if you're coming to Spain. So yeah, two people, you know, you're looking at a little bit more money there. And yeah, this tourist tax has been out for a while. It's been out since 2012, I believe. And a lot of other countries do it as well. I know when I was in the US, they do it there, and also in Mexico a few years ago. But you have to pay the tourist tax when you go into the country there, and also in Dominican Republic. When I went to the Dominican Republic, you pay an tourist tax going in, and you have to pay coming out as well. I think it's $15 to get in and $15 to come out, a tourist tax. But there you go. So yeah, here in Spain, looking at this summer, around €48 per person per week in the new tourist tax. Okay, let's have another one from Tina Turner. Nat King Cole there and his daughter Natalie Cole. Unforgettable.
David Wright.
Help and advice for living and working in Spain.
You're listening to The Right Way.
The Right Way with David Wright.
Okay, so it's time for tax tips with Cesar Talico. Hi, Cesar, and welcome to the show.
Hi, David. Thank you for having me.
So what tips have you got for us this week, Cesar?
Okay. This is specific to U.S. Citizens, but it might also apply to U.K. citizens, that if you need to sell your primary residence, you should sell it before you become a Spanish tax resident. This is because once you are a Spanish tax resident, you pay Spanish taxes in your worldwide income. So it doesn't matter where the income came from. So for example, if you sell your house in February, you move to Spain in May, that will make you a Spanish tax resident because you will spend more than 183 days in Spain. You will likely owe taxes to Spain on that gain, even though you were not even in Spain at the time you sold your house. In the United States, people get an exemption in the gain of the seller of primary residence, $250,000 for a single person, and $500,000 for a married couple. So sell your house before you become a tax resident in Spain. And there is a benefit in Spain that if you use the money from the sale of your primary home to buy another residence, some of your gain might not be taxed in Spain, but that requires planning, cash flow planning specifically. And also the benefit is not dollar for dollar. So it's not like you have a gain of $500,000, you buy a house in Spain for $500,000 and the whole thing is going to be exempted. There is nuance to that. So if you have questions, you can contact me through your site and then we can help.
That was tax tips with Cesar Talico there, our tax expert. And if you need any help from Cesar, there's a link in the description box or over in the comment section now.
Almeria Gold 95.5.
The comment section is open. Chat live to the DJ right now via our website.
And here is the legendary David Wright.
You're listening to Almeria Gold 95.5 FM, the right way with me, David Wright. Okay, so talking about visas now. So yeah, most people go for the non-lucrative visa when they're moving to Spain. Now there's around 28 grand needed for that, and it's to be in a bank account or funds to the effect of that, and around 7,000 for the partner, the second person, if you're applying as a couple for that one. Now some people, you know, they're right in saying that you cannot work on this non-lucrative visa officially, but remember, you can get an amendment to this visa now after 12 months, and people are applying for this before the 12 months is up. So it's around 8 months into the visa you can apply for an amendment to this visa, and you can change it so that you can start working. There is different options on that as well, and going self-employed is probably the best. It's the one that I would opt for. Some people say that going self-employed here is too much money. You have to pay €300 each month for your social security and all that. Yeah, I know that, but what they don't tell you is that if you go self-employed here and you haven't been self-employed before in the last 5 years, so you can go as a first-time self-employed person. That means that you pay around €70 a month, not 300, and it goes up each year as well in increments until it does reach the 300. Now, this all depends on the age you are when you're applying for it, and it also depends a little bit on the area as well. So, for example, if you're a husband and wife and you've got 2 kids and you're coming over here on the non-lucrative visa, you've got the 28 grand and the 7 grand for your partner. That's a lot of money to put down. Also, you will need to show that you've got private health cover for you and your wife and your children for the first year here in Spain. And that has to be paid up in full, remember, so that's a lot of money. It averages around €700 per person for the year for that insurance. Now, if you was to go self-employed on this non-lucrative visa, get the amendment and go self-employed, if you pay your social security at say it's €80 or €100 a month, that includes social security for you, your husband, and any children that live with you in your house. So that's a really, really good deal. You can cancel that insurance policy, you've got that medical, you'll be paying into social security. Now, it only needs one person in the household to be paying into that social security, and all the other people in that house, in that family, will be covered on that. So the non-lucrative visa is a pretty good way to go, really, and getting the amendment, I recommend that highly. Get the the amendment to that visa. If you need help with these visas, you can go over to my information page. I've got top experts there that give free consultations to my listeners. That's davidwrightonline.com information page. Or you can click on the Almeria Radio website and go and find my page. That's the right way with me, David Wright. There are other visas as well. There's the digital nomad visa and also the golden visa. The golden visa is not so well known, but people would need to have €1 million in the bank to get that golden visa, or 500,000 deposited on a property, the value of the property. Now that means that person would be entitled to come and live here. So you can't split that between 2 of you. It has to be in one name. You can't have 250,000 for your wife and 250,000 for you. That is a 500,000 value in the property in one name. There are ways around that. Again, you need to speak to a visa expert on that. And remember, on my information page, we have visa experts that give free consultations to my members. Time for a bit of Nina Simone now. Birds flying high. Ashes to Ashes there, and David Bowie.
David Wright. Help and advice for living and working in Spain.
You're listening to The Right Way.
The Right Way with David Wright.
So there's some new unemployment figures out for Spain, and unemployment in Spain reaches the lowest point since they started records in 2008 here for the new building. This is for the building and tourist industry. Yeah, lowest figures and since 2008. There's I think it was 200,000 extra jobs they reckon this year alone in Spain. Incredible amount of jobs. There's 64,000 jobs in the tourist and hotel industry alone. And remember, Ryanair and several other big aviation companies are putting on extra planes. They're buying extra aircraft to cope with that, what they reckon is going to be a bumper year. Now, they did say that Spain had a bumper year last year. Even best year before COVID was last year. Now, this year they're expecting it to be even bigger. Bumper year for tourism in Spain. And if the weather stays like this, it should be pretty good. But yeah, there's loads of work. People say there's no work in Spain. They're crying out for workers around where I am in Almeria. There's lots of construction going on now, and I know there really is a shortage of skilled tradespeople in the building industry. If you're a carpenter, plumber, electrician, you can earn 250, 300 euros a day quite easily here in Almeria at the moment. Obviously, you wouldn't need to be able to speak Spanish, but yeah, that's why get your visa, get it over here and go self-employed. You'll make a fortune. At the moment, there is loads of work for skilled labourers and skilled tradespeople here in Spain.
Live.
David Wright.
David Wright. David.
The Afternoon Show.
You're listening to The Right Way with me, David Wright, here on Almeria Gold 95.5 FM. And tonight I've got my training. I'll go to training every Thursday night, online training, where I'm learning to teach English to the Spanish. Been doing it since November now on this course, and I almost finished the course. And each Thursday night we have their online training with teachers and professors there. And yeah, it's a great way of getting an extra income if you're here in Spain. And what it is, it's how to teach English without reading or writing. It's just a verbal conversation with Spanish people. And I've got a couple of students. I've got a couple more potentials for next week. So yeah, I'm doing private lessons at the moment. You can do classes. You can do it how you like. You can teach online, or you can do it wherever you live. And it doesn't even have to be Spanish. You can use this system to teach any language. It's a great system that they've come up with. There's an expert in linguistics. He's a professor in linguistics, speaks about 7 languages, and also his partner in this is an IT professor, and the two of them have come up with this system. And it's how to teach people how to teach another language to other people. So yeah, I'm using the system to teach English to Spanish people here, and generating me about 200 euros a month. So if you're interested in joining that, come over to my information page, see all about it there. That's davidwrightonline.com, davidwrightonline.com information page, and learn how to teach the Spanish some English. So I want to say a big thank you to the sponsors of my shows. That's USTaxesSpain.com, and Caesar has already given us some tips today here on the show, and he's going to give a free consultations to anybody. This is not just for US citizens. This is anyone living and working in Spain. If you need any help, any questions with your taxes, you can get a free consultation. Just go over to the Almeria Radio comment section and you'll see the details there. Just say to Caesar that David sent you from Almeria Radio, give you a free consultation and get your taxes sorted out.
You're listening to Almeria Gold.
Premier Painters.
Okay, so I'll give out quite a lot of information, tips and advice on my show here, and there's loads of links to experts. I've got quite a few experts now that give my listeners special discounts and special deals and bonuses, things like that, from anything from visas to tax help and lawyers, solicitors fees, or even health insurance and health cover. All of these experts are available over on my information page. Now you just go over to davidwrightonline.com, davidwrightonline.com, and click the information page there. And if you can't find what you're looking for, you can email me, and that's info@davidwrightonline.com, or here on Almeria Radio, that's david@almeriaradio.live. Sheena Easton there, and 9 till 5. Okay, so I was talking to my teacher the other day in my driving school, going to a motorbike driving school to take my motorbike, a bigger motorbike test in next week. And you were talking about rules and regulations here, and something you might not know, this includes cars here in Spain. If you stop at a traffic lights in Spain and you start doing your makeup or your hair, or you're touching up your makeup or something like that, then you can get fined for that. You can actually get fined and points on your license for not paying attention. So yeah, if you're sitting at traffic lights, you're supposed to be sitting there with your hands on the wheel, looking ahead and making sure you're observing the road in front. You're not supposed to be doing your makeup, and you certainly can't touch your phone at all to check any messages, things like that. That is an extra fine. That can be 3 points and €200 on your license there. So yeah, you can't have your phone sitting on your lap or even sitting on the dashboard or on the seat next to you. You can be fined for that. It has to be in a proper regulation phone holder with a system of hands-free to use it. Otherwise, you can be in trouble there. So a lot of these rules have come in the last year or so, but they're being really hot on it this year. So make sure you're aware of that. Now, people say, they won't catch you. They don't know. But trust me, the other day I saw in town in Almeria a couple of police on the scooters, police scooters, like little motorbikes, and they're dotting up the roads between the traffic jams in Almeria city, and they were slowly coming past cars, looking in each car. And I was looking to see what they were looking at, what's going on here. And as they went past me, they stopped at a car in front of me, and the guy was actually looking at his mobile phone, and they signalled him to go and pull over. So yeah, he got caught. He was sitting at the traffic lights, and he just had the phone in his hand. I don't think he was using it. I think he was just looking at messages, but he was going to get a ticket for that for sure. So yeah, be careful. Make sure you know what you're doing with these rules and regulations.
You're listening to...
That's it for me for another show. See you tomorrow on the sister station at 4 o'clock, El Maria Radio 107.5 FM. Thanks very much for listening, everybody, and have a great afternoon.
That's all, folks.